Hello. So basically I'm putting up my Iceland video, which is a long time coming because I was in Iceland about 6 months ago. I'm in York, England now, basically finishing up my semester at the university, and I'm going home for Christmas really soon. And then I'll be back in England again in mid-January, but I figured I'm bored, I'm up, I don't feel like reading anymore for classes, so I'm going to put this video together finally. So basically I have a little 10-minute video that I made when I got into London after going through Iceland, because I was in Iceland for a 3-day layover. I had a choice. It was either 18 hours sitting up in an airport or 3 days. So I was like, okay, 3 days, and I got to explore Reykjavik and some of the countryside. It's totally worth doing. I'm glad I made that choice. So my video is when I finally got into London after 3 days in Iceland, and I'm dead tired, and it was like, I don't know, 2 in the morning or something like that. So, but the first couple minutes got a little bit cut off, but basically I was talking about how when I flew into Iceland it was midnight, and because it's so far north during the summer that the sun never completely sets, so you have what's called the midnight sun. I'm sure many of you have seen it, and that was my first time seeing it. It was really cool. The sun was just sitting on the horizon, like it was really weird that it was light out all night, but it was like a dusk kind of light. And I spent my first day in Iceland going around looking at the museums, and in Reykjavik, and just walking around Reykjavik. And then the second day was a bus tour out to the countryside. So I will leave you in the hands of me 6 months ago to keep talking about this. Cool. All right. I went to the National Museum first, and they had all the way up to the present day. So national museums are always a good place to go when you're traveling around because they usually have the good stuff. And then from the National Museum, I went over to the Viking Maritime Museum, where it was mostly about like fishing and stuff, and learned about the Cod Wars, and went on to the rescue ship Odin, which is part of the Coast Guard that was involved in the Cod Wars, and that was really neat if you like stuff like, going on Battleship New Jersey and seeing how ships were run and all the stuff that's going on right there. So that was cool. Then after that, I was flipping through a brochure map to see what I should do next, and I saw that there was a museum called Culture House, and it had some medieval manuscripts with some of the original writing of Njál's Saga, which I just finished reading at work, one of the Icelandic sagas, and then the Eddas, which is all these stories that basically is the best knowledge that we have of Norse mythology. So I ran over there real fast and found that, and that was a really cool experience. They had a bunch of them all lined up in this case in the middle of this dark room, and the room lit up when you walked in. So, when nobody's in there, the lights are turned off to minimize light damage on the pages. I'm sure they have special lights for that room too, but the darker the better. And I spent the rest of the day after that at the hostel. It started to rain just as I was finished there, so it was a gorgeous day right up until the end when it started to rain, and then it was time to go, and I just kind of hung out at the hostel after that. The second day was really neat. I booked a bus tour through the Golden Circle, which is like a circle of stuff you go see out in the landscape. And we started out at this little crater, volcanic crater with water in the middle, and that was really neat. I'll put up some pictures to show you guys. that was cool. We just hung out there for a real short time, like 5-10 minutes, and then we had to be off to this horse show. And the horse show was okay, nothing really exciting. The horses just ran around in circles. Basically, they're showing off the Icelandic horse, which is the only breed of horse in Iceland, and you're not allowed to bring in any other kind of horses into that country to preserve that breed, because they, I guess, are descended from the horses that were brought over by the Vikings and the Norse like 1,000 years ago, and it's an uninterrupted bloodline, so it's very special. No mixing. And apparently these horses have 5 different gaits, and they were showing off their different gaits and went through all 5 of them. And the only really cool part, I mean, it was nice. It was a sweet little thing. It was like 10 minutes, 12-minute show. And at one point, one of their special gaits was the jockeys are riding with big steins of beer in their hands, and the beer wasn't spilling, so that was cool. And then after that, we got to hang out with the horses in the stables afterwards for tea and coffee, and that was really nice. After that, we went to this little waterfall. They really weren't that little. There was a salmon ladder going up one side, and pretty broad, and it was further down the river from the big waterfalls we were going to go to, Gullfoss. And this river goes back up to this glacier that's way in the distance. But I did get some video of that. So after we looked around over there, we went to Gullfoss, which huge falls, gorgeous falls. I was hiking all over that. There's this neat little trail. I'm going to have a trail map for you guys so you can see. So basically, you know, the bus dropped us off right in front of it, and it was so weird walking on the bus and seeing this huge, enormous waterfall just disappearing into this canyon right in front of me. And I walked down the path that went up to the waterfalls. You're basically standing like right on top of it, and walked down that way. I was getting soaked with the mist, and then walked back up, and there's some cliffs overhead that you could go up to, so I went up there next and got a different view, and it was really cool. You could see the glacier from there too. It was like really far away, but you could see it. And after Gullfoss, we went to Geysir, which is the original geyser. All the geysers are named after Geysir, but Geysir isn't really working anymore. I think he goes off once in a while, but really not very often, maybe once in a few years. Some maybe a major earthquake will make it go off. But the one right next to it, like literally you walk down the hill to the other one, Strokir, that one still goes, and I got some cool video of that going off, and kind of freaked me out the first time because I just wasn't ready for it. I didn't know what to expect, and it was crazy. So I got it a couple times. Oh my god! Whoa! That's high. That was cool. Oh my god! Again! After Geysir, we went to Thingvellir, the national park, and that's where the Althing was held, where the Icelanders would come together for basically a huge community fair kind of deal, but it's also where they settled a lot of their disputes in courts, because they were very adamant about their own set of laws, and they had the first Althing in 930, and they had been using that area for their annual gathering up until I think the 17 or 1800s, because either the Danes or the Norse came in and took over. I can't remember. But also the plains flooded right next to it because there was an earthquake, which I think dropped the level of the land a bit, and then the lake just kind of rose. So they kind of abandoned that spot. But that was really neat to walk through. It was absolutely beautiful. It was in a rift valley. So the two tectonic plates of Eurasia and North America, where they smashed together and one came up and the other one under. So it was really neat walking through the rift. And then there were also some remains of a few of the booths that had been set up, and they're probably, maybe the younger remains probably from the 17 or 1800s, but they probably had been built on top of even older booths, and that was really cool to look at. And I took video of that. I'll post that in a separate thing, though. I probably won't even be posting this for another month because I'm about to go to my dig tomorrow. My computer is dying and its battery's not charging, though it's plugged in, because I think there's something up with my adapters. And I probably won't be in touch with anybody for a little while because I'm going to get started on my dig tomorrow. I'm going to sleep. I'm so tired. And I love you all. I miss you all. And I definitely wish a lot of you guys were here with me today. Or not, well, not today. Today sucked. Yesterday was really cool, though. All the stuff that my video is. Well, I'm looking forward to talking to you again. Bye.